Live from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas, this is Runway DFW, in color. Now, here is your host, Walt Zwerko.
Hello everyone around the world, it's Walt back with you for more exciting action from DFW International Airport in Texas. It's Thursday, September 29th, 2022, likely to be our final show of September 2022. And so welcome. We've got some action for you this morning. We've got our satellite truck back in action. We are on terra firma today. We're not in the back of a pickup truck, so I've got a little more room to spread out. We've got all our cameras working so far, so we welcome you, and we hope you will be with us for the next 2 hours of fun and excitement here on Runway DFW. All right, well, as you might have seen if you got here a little bit early, we do have that MD-11 from UPS, and we've got two more back there over on the UPS property. There you see them. So 3 Trijets, and according to the schedule I saw when I was looking at it last night, we should see at least 2 of them in action whilst we are on the air this morning. So for you Trijet fans, we will be taking care of you this morning if all goes according to plan. It is, the wind is coming out of the south this morning, probably about 8 or 10 miles an hour I would guesstimate. And there's the East Tower of DFW. We are about to see our first action of the morning. We did have a JAL flight come in from Tokyo while we were, we hadn't even set up yet, and it was coming in, so we missed that, but we'll see some other stuff before we go. So hang on there. Let's welcome all of our peoples who are here this morning. Epic Toast Man says hello, Runway DFW. Hello to you. Cessna Textron. Hello to everyone. Kells 1136. Good morning from Oakland. I see Nightbot is back. I think I have Nightbot tamed. So let me know if you have any problems with that. I don't think we will. Anth Cellini says, hello, how are you going? And I am doing quite well. And a prediction from Anth that this will be a great stream. Well, I certainly hope so. I see that our moderator from the DFW Moderation Federation, Gerard, is in the house, and he's in recovery from some sort of an injury or something he had to go to the hospital for involving his arm, I believe. So Gerard, I hope you're feeling better. Don't overextend yourself. Douglas Serrano is here from Fort Worth, not too very far away from here, as is 1970 RPM. Good morning from Hearst, another suburb of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Craig Smith says GM, and I am led to believe that means good morning. Dave Kimball says good morning, everyone. And so we've got lots of people here. AZ am I going to get this right? AZL 5226FF. Good morning, Runway DFW family. We're happy to have you here. So, okay. Shall we look at some aircraft? We have lining up for takeoff American Flight 524 and A321 off to Los Angeles, but first coming in is American Airlines Flight 4922 coming in from San Angelo, Texas, which you will see there appearing right there. And we will pick it up with camera 1. So let's see if I remember how to do this. Before the sun comes up, it's a terrific time to watch these planes come in, because we've got enough light so we can see what's going on, but all the lights are still on the runway and stuff, so it looks spectacular. And here goes the flight off to LAX. And we always devote just a few seconds of the show for our new viewers who are saying, gee, there sure are a lot of American Airlines planes there and American Eagle planes. And yep, that's what happens when American kind of rules the skies here. It is their headquarters. And they have elected to make this their #1 hub. So between American and American Eagle, they control about 85% of the traffic here. So we're going to see a lot of those, a lot of that livery. Although American does spice it up every now and again by presenting us with some heritage livery from either its earlier incarnations of livery, American Airlines, or from other airlines that have kind of all melded together in the American Airlines universe, like TWA and Piedmont and Allegheny and PSA and I know I'm forgetting some, America West. There you see the wide look there, and as it kind of brightens up here, that's DFW Founders Plaza, from where we emanate almost all of our broadcasts. And so we always try to give a nice shout out to DFW Founders Plaza. It's a great place to hang out and watch planes. Even if you're not an official hardcore plane spotter, it's a great place to hang out and bring the kids. And it's provided free of charge by DFW Airport. So we thank DFW Airport as we look at this MD-11 of the UPS brand being loaded up. And if you like to watch freight aircraft being loaded up, this is a great place to do it. And speaking of UPS, here comes a 767 UPS on your screen. It is coming in from Houston Intercontinental Airport. That's a Boeing 767-300 freighter, which that is one of the new ones there. It's 3 years old. It's a baby. Nice and shiny. So it's just about a 45-minute flight or so up from Houston, also here in Texas. There's the east tower of DFW Airport with a kind of a peak across the way at Terminal A. And we have 4U here. Well, there's a plane in the background there, but this one's coming in from Stillwater, Oklahoma. It's an American Eagle flight numero 3706. An Embraer 145. Kind of echoing that classic DC-9 look. And Gerard says, for your information, you hear the voice of the man behind the camera, the one and only amazing world-famous Waltz Worko. Gerard, methinks you exaggerate just a bit there, but thank you for that kind comment. Pen Huang is in the metropolitan area here from Plano, Texas. And Stevie is here. Good morning from Whitesboro, Texas. So we have a lot of Texans here this morning. I know Gerard is over in the Netherlands, and but normally we get a lot of European viewers on board. Maybe there are some that are just kind of hanging out because it's kind of midday over there. And you were looking at landing is an Embraer 175, American Eagle Flight 3417 coming in from Midland, Texas, in the western part of the state. Dallas-Fort Worth, if you were looking at a map of Texas, would be more in the northeast central part of the state. It's a big state. Let's pull out and get a nice close look at this relatively shiny 767, the UPS flight we saw land from Houston Intercontinental Airport. And that is one nice thing about Founders Plaza. If you like to see these jets up close, you get to see 767s, 757s, A300s, and even the occasional 777. Not from UPS, but from American Airlines, of course. This one's on arrival from Honolulu. So, aloha to the passengers and crew. Back to the UPS 767. Let's see if it makes a hard left turn here into the terminal. You know, you just heard it, didn't you? The Wookiee scream of a Delta.
I watch you all the time.
Oh, well, thank you. A Runway DFW fan just kind of wandered over and said, I watch you all the time. It makes it all worth it, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't tell you where the Delta flight was going. Going to Minneapolis, that A220-100. Let's swing over here real quick to see if we can get the last few seconds of this 757 moving into place. Or 767 moving into place, sorry. It's going to the back of the lot, I think. Behind a fence. Another Texan checking in, Skyworker from Greenville, Texas. Again, here in the North Texas area. Good morning to you, Skyworker. But we do have a bloke checking in from the UK, Mark Chandler by name. Good morning to you. Happy to have you with us. Uncle Pat's here from Tyler, Texas. That's in East Texas. And you can't get more Texas than Texas City, which is where Sam Landis is checking in from today. As he says, let me add some more Texans to the show. And there he goes. And we'd like to welcome Stephanie Hutchison. Good morning, Runway DFW and all my aviation friends. Is it Saturday yet? I'm not even wishing for Friday. What a week. Oh, boy. Well, hang in there, Stephanie. It'll all be over soon. Skyworker says, need to get out to Founders Plaza at some point. Yeah, I would recommend it if you're in the area and you have any interest at all in airplanes. Even as I said, if you're not a hardcore plane spotter, it's just a nice place to hang out, especially now if the weather's getting cooler. And Sebastian Echeverria says, good morning from a really windy Florida. I don't know what part of the state you are in, Sebastian. I hope you are safe and those you know are as well. I've heard that it was more than 1 million people who are who do not have electrical power as a result of Hurricane Ian, and boy, that's a rough scene, and it's going to be a lot of days of picking up for people down there, so stay safe, and we hope you are well. From Grand Island comes this CRJ 700 or 701. I can't tell the difference. I'll have to figure that out someday. It's American Eagle Flight 4944. The wind is picking up kind of from the east-southeast. We have some, I am not, they went. We had some long-tailed birds perching on the barbed wire fence. I think it's the state bird of Oklahoma, but I can't remember what the name of it is. I'm not a bird watcher, unfortunately. I know that Brad Ward, the executive producer of Airline Videos Live, has told me that there's a lot of plane spotters who are also bird watchers, or vice versa. We're about to zoom out here from the almost rising sun to show you a picture of American Airlines Flight 399 coming in from Anchorage, Alaska. It's an Airbus A321 right here on Runway DFW. The clock is ticking, of course, for the much anticipated arrival of the great Kevin from Airline Videos Live. He's coming here to Dallas Fort Worth for 3 planned shows, and there'll be all sorts of AVL fans here to greet him here at Founders Plaza. And it'll be so great to see his take on this airport, which he says he's never before been to, even to change planes. There you see a plane coming in over on the east side of DFW. That was American Flight 1090 coming in from Tulsa, Oklahoma, 737-800. Going through your screen over to, looks like it's going to be landing on runway 17 right. Oh, I'm sorry, 17 left over on the east side of the airport. In the meantime, we've got another regional flight coming in on this side from Brownsville in South Texas. And this is going to be American Eagle Flight 3547 and Embraer 175. And you might be able to hear the birds chirping in the background. I'm going to have to figure something else out with our scanner here. I got a new antenna for it. But I'm still not terribly happy with the way it's sounding. I don't have the scanner plugged into our soundboard because I don't have enough inputs on my soundboard. So I might need a new soundboard. There is the morning sun here to greet us with the Westin Hotel on the left side of your picture. We're looking east, of course. Good morning from River Oaks on the west side of Fort Worth. Great morning. So Dwayne C., if you poke your head out the window, maybe you can catch a glimpse of the rising sun. And the wind gust just picks up here. I think we're about to see a plane go through the shot, so I'm going to hold this shot for a second as a plane comes in. Yeah, there it goes. That's nice. That's coming in from Bentonville, Arkansas, the home of Walmart. And there's a wider, a little less colorful look at the sunrise. No clouds today. Well, we've got some haze. That's about it. The wind is kind of shifting more easterly now. almost east-southeast, I would say. We do have one of our 3 MD-11s lighting up the radar now, so we should be seeing that taxiing in short order. The next aircraft we see arriving is going to be American Eagle Flight 3926 from Corpus Christi on the Texas Gulf Coast here on a crispy 66. Well, it's 66. It's gone down since I've gotten here. It's getting chillier. I'm glad I have my hoodie on. We'll be with you today until, at least the plan is, until 9 o'clock Central Time, which is a little more than, still got a little more than 90 minutes left in our broadcast. We started later today than we have been. We had been starting at 6:45 a.m. local time. We moved it back to 7 because of course, the sun is rising later in the morning. And you know what? I didn't punch the right button there. You were left with a wide shot while I was showing you that plane landing. Well, I'll make up for it with the departure of one of these Trijets. 1970 RPM, absolutely gorgeous fall morning. Temps are pleasant today. Sure is. John Kelly Grant is up early from San Jose in California. Good morning to you, John. And Douglas says he can see the sun rising from home as well. Arriving from Monterrey in Mexico, it's American Airlines Flight 2286. This is an Airbus A319.
Departure 2711. Left, and we'll plan to exit Whiskey Foxtrot. Thank you.
Our first MD-11 of the day is now almost fully behind a wall, but the distinctive tail gives it away. And now I'm going to say that the wind is, well, I guess it's still not quite due east, but it's pretty easterly. It's shifted around from, it was more southerly when we started. Can't really see what's going on there. We assume that the tug is still getting ready to jettison that plane, and so it can take off on its own. Our signal, as always, is being relayed by the Runway DFW official satellite truck. As we watch another incoming flight, kick up a little dust. The 737-800 American Airlines flight coming in from Austin, Texas, our state capital. I'd like to say hello to Plane Spotting with Keith. Good morning, Walton, everyone. There you see in the foreground Japan Airlines Flight 6713 on its way back to Narita Airport in Tokyo. That is your 787-900. So while we missed an incoming JAL flight, we've got an outgoing one for you. And here comes the MD-11 marching out. This one's going to turn and burn, I think. Gosh, I hate to miss both of them. Let me just give you a quick look at this one as it taxis out. We don't know if it's going to Louisville, but we don't know yet whether we will see it take off from this side or the east side. Let's quickly go back to runway 18 left for the departure of this JAL aircraft. Now I'm getting worried about my computer screen getting blown down by this gusty wind. So laden with fuel and passengers, off it goes to Narita Airport in Tokyo. And we were talking about American Airlines liveries earlier. There is, what is that, the Allegheny livery? Yes, Allegheny. I mean, that's such a classic look. Meanwhile, we are going to get to see this MD-11 rocket off into the stratosphere. It's a 30-year-old MD-11 dating back to November of 1991. And again, this is off to the UPS main hub in the USA, Louisville, Kentucky. So you saw how far down the runway that big Dreamliner went before it lifted off. Not this one. We do have to savor these moments when we get to see a plane of this configuration take off into the sky, because, you know, I would think 4 or 5 years from now it will be a rare sight indeed.
Southwest 629, contact Fort Worth, center 127.0. Southwest 629. Japan Air 6713, heavy turn right, direct loading, on maintain 17,000. Japan Air 6713. Delta 249, right, direct already upon maintain 17,000. 7,000, direct check 241.
There it goes off into the wild blue yonder. There is one of its siblings. Still getting loaded up, and we will see either this one or the other MD-11 that's over there. We should see it taxi out later this morning, while we're still here, I hope. And Dave Kimball notes that nothing lifts off quite like an MD-11. And my question is, now I've been on an MD-11 or a DC-10, you know, during my lifetime. I can't remember, though, if when they were in a passenger configuration, if they made a similar kind of takeoff move, or if that's just kind of restricted to flights when you don't have a bunch of passengers in the back. Plane spotting with Keith likes to watch the MD as well. And we'd like to welcome back Siobhan Manning, one of our Runway DFW Moderation Federation members, who was off for a bit on family business, and we're glad to welcome you back, Siobhan. Coming to us from London, if I remember correct, or at least the London vicinity. We'd like to say thank you, a big thanks to all of our moderators. Who do a fantastic job keeping this a really fun place to hang out for a while. So thank you to all of you. And we also would like to acknowledge the presence of Lori M. Good morning from Garland, Walton, everyone. Garland being another Dallas, Fort Worth vicinity suburb. And Sebastian, who's coming up to us from Florida, says he's from Port St. Lucie in Florida, which I want to say that's on the West Coast, but I'm not entirely sure. But I hope you're okay. Tilly's checking in. Hello, everyone, from Sydney in Australia. Beautiful sunrise. Thank you, Tilly. Glad we could have you with us. You're down there in the southern hemisphere. You are welcoming springtime as we enter the fall months. And I meant to click on Siobhan's message. Yes, that she says I was correct. She does live in London. So, again, we're happy to see you here with us again. And Drew767 says, good morning from North Florida. Drew, I hope you are doing well and all your friends and family members are. And John is saying lots of beautiful planes this morning. Not at the moment, although we're about to see another UPS flight landing. This is going to be another 767 coming in from Austin. Didn't the last one come in from Austin as well? Well, at any rate, we're going to see another one landing in just a second, so hang on for that one. Will this one be as new as the other? This will be a 9-year-old 767, so not quite as bright and shiny as the last one. We welcome Neil Lockwood from Fort Worth. Hello there. Karen Monton says Port St. Lucie's on the east coast of Florida, so duh. So let us check out the arrival of our second UPS 767 cargo jet of the morning. Coming from over in that direction. That one seemed to touch down a little bit earlier than most of the planes we see. Nothing wrong with that. There's 2 miles worth of runway to aim at. It looks like it's going to go up the central taxiway to come back to where we are. Meanwhile, over at the UPS hub, a 757 is getting pushed back. This one's going to be taking off for Ontario, not the Canadian province, but the California city. And we will let the Runway DFW singers let you know just how old this plane is.
A blast from the past, 1992.
Let's see if we can peek in the cockpit here. Don't know how much we can see. Look at it on my bigger screen here. John Kelly Grant wishing or issuing prayers for Florida, and we definitely are sending our best thoughts to all of the residents of Florida, many of whom probably are in no position, even if they wanted a little break from the disaster. They probably don't have, a lot of people don't have access to water, fresh water, or cellular service or electricity. There's going to be some tough times for a lot of people in the Sunshine State.
Okay, that's moving off about 18 left and 18 right. Charge of the ramp, 2879.
2626, contact forward, 735.75.
Good morning, Michael Lemaster. We're happy to have you with us here on Runway DFW on this Thursday edition. I hear a helicopter. I don't see it. Oh, I see it now. It's behind us, kind of circling around. I don't think we'll get to see it. It's in that general direction, but I can't really zoom into it because the camera's all turned around. So here comes that 767 that we saw land from Austin. So unlike on, what day was it? Monday? Were we here? I think it was Monday. Monday's not a good day for UPS plane watching here, at least not recently. So there was no activity over there that day. But plenty to see here today if you like UPS jets. And so far we've seen 3 different configurations. 757, 767, and MD-11. No 747s today though, unfortunately. Which UPS does fly. And I did see, I guess they had a couple here on, can't remember what day it was, Tuesday, when OZ Gaming 9, another live streamer, was out here in the evening, and I think there were 2 Queens of the Sky right over in this general vicinity. So I don't know if we can really get the size differential there because of their...
No, but we'll just need a couple, probably about 1 minute to
because of the perspective difference. But the 757 on the right is now powered up and coming towards us. And it'll be making a right turn here in a moment. Get a little UPS ballet here. So it eases into its parking space as we follow along with the 757 that's on its way to Ontario, California. In the glorious morning sun of North Texas. And I'd like to say hello to Ron Sees America. Good morning, Walt. Good morning, everyone. And our good friend Michelle R.S. Good morning, Walt. Good morning to you, Michelle. She is a very big supporter of our channel and also one of our great moderators. Drew loves the engine noises. Well, there's something almost dainty about the 757. I think I saw an article in Simple Flying, the website, the other day, and they were trying to explain why the 757 was not as successful as the 737. And I can't remember any of the reasons why. I don't know, look, it's a better looking plane to me than the 737, just aesthetically. But I guess operationally, perhaps the 737 is more efficient to operate, or at least it was compared to this. So it's going to take off on 18 right? I think it is. So 18 right is generally the runway over here on the west side of DFW Airport where the planes come in and land. And 18 left is where they take off, but for whatever reason, I thought I saw some pickup trucks out there, so maybe they were doing maybe they were doing an inspection of 18 left, and they said, take off on 18 right. Where'd that plane go? We defocused, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to guesstimate that this may be our next Trijet to take off this morning, because it seems to be getting buttoned up. Yeah, we're going to redirect our attention back to runway 18 left, where United Airlines Flight 2371 and Airbus A300 is now lining up to take off for the City by the Bay, San Francisco.
1998.
And this too is a 20th century aircraft. An Airbus A319, which has not been updated to the latest version of United's livery. It's coming over here to runway 18 right as well to take off. This is very unusual, at least for me. I mean, it's maybe a routine thing on a weekly basis, but I had not seen this before. So we get a little closer look at it before it takes off.
American 127 heavy is 132. Yep, spot 132 with Delta, ready to taxi. Golf Whiskey Golf, 18 left, American 127 heavy. Our departure will be very lucky, United 2371. Morning departure, United 2371, 2000, climbing 10,000 and a Harper 3.
We don't get a very good look at him from this angle, but here's a kind of a detail of the flying children sculpture, which adorns the Runway DFW, or the DFW Founders Plaza, kind of the focal point of it. And there are 3 children there, but one of them is kind of hiding behind one of the free telescopes that or binoculars that they provide here. Another feature they have here is a series of bricks that line the viewing area. And I don't think we can read the inscriptions on any of them because they're pointed the wrong way. But they are personalized. You know, people buy them. And I think if you find the Founders Plaza website, you can put your money down to get your own brick. There are lots of blank ones there. I think they run for $125. I'll have to put that link in the in our description, so somebody might want to do that. And we have, I think we see the operations team is doing a little street sweeping on runway 18 right. And we bring you this because there are no planes taking off right now, at least from our vantage point. We'll take this opportunity we like to pull this up every now and again so you can see what's going on here. It's a map of the terminals, and where we are on this Google Earth map, there where the Runway DFW logo is where we are located. And those yellow lines next to us are runways 18 right and 18 left, which we can view, and the terminals are numbered, well lettered, A, B, C, D, and E. So you can see there's 2 parallel runways here on the west side of the airport, and then there's 3 parallel runways on the east side, and those are designated 17 right, left, and center. And there's also these two diagonal runways for crosswind landings and takeoffs. So that's a look at the airport as we take a little break here for a second.
We'll continue with our story following station identification.
Live from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas, this is Runway DFW, in color.
So it is 8 o'clock Central Time, or, well, 8:01. Well, more like 8:02, I guess, by now, but it's Walt, your fly guy here at DFW Airport, and we are with you on this Thursday, September 29th, 2022, to bring you one more hour of plane spotting activities. So, thanks for hanging out with us this morning and every time you pay us a visit at Runway DFW.
Live from Dallas-Fort Worth
Sorry about that.
International.
We've got American Flight 127, which is about to make the big turn to head out to Seoul, South Korea. So let us get that in our sights on camera one. Ready one, take one. There it is. This will be a 777. Again, about to make the big journey across the Pacific against the headwinds, or the jet stream. This aircraft dates back to March of 2002. It's a 777-200 ER. So that's how we're going to start this hour on Runway DFW. Well, off that goes to South Korea. And as we say goodbye to that plane, we're going to say hello to Korean Airlines Flight 31 coming in from Seoul, South Korea. And this will be a 787-9 Dreamliner. Let's see if we can catch the takeoff of American Flight 2853 and Airbus A321. Now careening down runway 18 left, headed for Los Angeles. Wheels up for the City of Angels.
Departure, American 2853, we're 2,100 for 10,000 on the captain.
Keeping an eye on this guy. I think it's going to be headed out today or this morning. See if I can check my departure board here for a second. Yeah, this one's scheduled to go out, or estimated to go out at 8:45. Just a short time before we go off the air, so fingers crossed for that. We may get to see that Allegheny Airlines special livery of American Airlines going out to Montrose, California. Montrose, is it Montrose, California or Colorado? I think it's Colorado. Later this hour. So we'll be on the lookout for that. Here comes an A319 American Airlines flight from Querétaro in Mexico. And the next incoming flight will also be from Mexico. This one's from Guadalajara, American Flight 1034. This will be a 737-800, which will be coming in from between all these fences and signs and signposts. Our next arrival is another international flight, a trans-Pacific flight. This will be Japan Airlines Flight 12. 777 coming in from Haneda Airport in Tokyo. So we get to see Haneda and Narita. I don't know which one is bigger. I'm going to say Narita is probably the larger of the two, but it's just a guess. So the big white 777 settles down after completing an almost 11-hour flight from Tokyo. So 777-346 ER. And that aircraft dates back to the year 2006. And I am perfectly okay with that livery. It's, you know, to me it's just kind of classic. Some people think it's probably a little too unexciting, but I don't know, I like it. Let me make a quick note about our subscriptions. We're up to 6,891 subscribers on the channel. Just a little more than 100 before we reach the magic 7,000 mark. So if you like what you see, I hope you will hit the subscribe button. There's no penalty, no cost to you for a YouTube subscription. It just merely lets YouTube know that you like what you're seeing and you're kind of giving us the endorsement for others to see it. Here's a Delta Airlines flight, flight number 2444 off to Salt Lake City. It's an Airbus A300. Taking off on runway 18 left on runway DFW. Off to Salt Lake you go. Abbas Rizvi says, hopefully weather will be nice this weekend. We'll head out to Founders Plaza. Well, if you're here on Saturday afternoon, maybe I will see you then. I think that's when I will next be broadcasting. Becky Davies is saying good afternoon, Runway DFW from Shrewsbury, Shropshire, UK, Midlands. Happy to have you once again with us here on Runway DFW. And Kells 1136 is commenting, if I can get my mouse to work here, on the JAL livery. They like the clean and simple look of it. Let me see if we can still see it here. Oh yes, it's kind of pulling in now to the Terminal D. There it is. So yeah, kind of says it all, not too snazzy. We did see the recently the One World JAL livery, which of course has the big One World insignia on the front of the fuselage. But that to me is classic in the way the Pan Am livery was classic. And I keep going back to the font on Pan Am. You know, the font that they decided on the lettering. It has little kind of winglets as serifs on the letters, and it still looks very modern and fresh to me, in a way that the Singapore Airlines font looks very dated to me. And we see Singapore Airlines cargo coming in here on a regular basis, and every time I see it I love the livery, but I just hate that font on the side of the fuselage. So just me. I think you could have endless debates on airline liveries here.
12,000 to 6,000 Echo. 18-9 on board 3687.
There went a front. We missed a Frontier flight, didn't we there? It's going to Las Vegas. And so we didn't get to bring you Champ the Bronco. Sorry about that. We have, wow, yet another UPS flight coming in, and it's going to be an aircraft type we hadn't seen yet today, an A300. A 21-year-old A300 is about to enter our viewport from the left. I kind of fancy this plane. So we'll get a closer look at that one as it makes its way up to the UPS cargo facility next door to us here at DFW Founders Plaza. Hey, we're glad to have you all here with us this morning. Michelle wants to know, are we in a different spot today? A slightly different spot. Not terribly different. We're kind of close to where we were on Saturday with the pickup truck. The pickup truck experiment was coming from right over in this general direction. We parked the pickup truck and we were on the back of the pickup truck, right about the center of that shot there. Normally, well, let me get this plane coming in. 737-800 coming in from Austin. It's American Flight 1632.
And number 8 to the right, and speed 190 envoy 3687. Center 127.0.
I'm almost cold this morning. We're up to 67 degrees. So anyway, we have been, generally speaking, we're more of on the west side of the Founders Plaza. We normally have been, in recent weeks, either under that canopy over there, which is more towards the east side of Founders Plaza, or even to the left of it there where that picnic table is over there. So we're in a slightly different position around the kind of curved parking lot here. I had previously avoided this particular spot because the last time I was over here we were getting radar interference. That is, our screen would get pinged. There'd be a little distortion in our signal. I haven't seen that today, so I guess. I guess we're in the clear at this particular spot. That American Airlines flight 737-800 coming in from Albuquerque, flight 2335. Here comes an American Dreamliner. Its work complete for the day, or at least for this part of the day. It's headed over to the American Airlines hangar area for some R&R. I guess we're not going to see any 747s today. I didn't see any coming or going while we're here. Here does come that Airbus A300 that we saw coming in earlier, the UPS flight. This one's arrived from West Palm Beach in Florida. I imagine they saw a bit of weather. I saw the tail end of Miami, is it called Miami Planes? Miami Flights? The Miami streamer. And they were going live from kind of a relatively brief broadcast from MIA last night, and the sky was just incredible from Miami. Now, I don't think it was raining there in Miami. The storm was kind of to the west of them, or to the northwest of them. Hurricane Ian we're talking about, but the sky was just this blood red. Oh, it was was kind of scary looking. It was beautiful, but scary looking at the same time. Craig Russell is greeting us. Good morning, Craig. Hey there. ERB, good morning, everyone. Edson is my name. Greetings from Brazil. Stephanie Hutchison, and this is something I agree with. So one of the things I love about the aviation community is seeing so many of the same names across the channels, across the streams. Really makes it feel like I'm plane spotting with friends. You know, that's a great observation, Stephanie, and I feel the same way. Because you go to these other channels and there's just a lot of the same people hanging around. We all like the same things. More or less. And it's just fun that we share this kind of love of aviation. So thank you for pointing that out as we listen to this A300 pulling in. Good morning, cockpit crew. Park right there in a space we often see 747s pull in. And we've seen Nicholas Orozco join us before. He's coming to us from Pecos, Texas. And ERB says, we all love watching planes. And it's so inexplicable sometimes, you know, because you tell people what you're doing and they're saying, okay, so you're taking pictures of planes landing and taking off, and so, yeah, and and they just don't get it. Sometimes even I don't get it. I just know that I like it. Has disappeared again. Sometimes I wish this was a touch screen. I could just point at it. There it is. So I was going to welcome Ed Chilcote, who's in Wilmington, North Carolina. I know what you meant. And my laptop has a touchpad, and I hate touchpads. Not a fan. I like a mouse. And Kel's 1136. That's exactly the reaction I get when describing plane spotting. Just like, you know, sometimes you get a blank stare from somebody, or like they just don't get that it's just fun to do. But to each his own. There's an American Eagle, Emperor 175. Not needing much runway at all to gain altitude. But because of the glare of the sun right now and the number of planes that are lit up, I'm going to have to defer telling you where that was going. It's going to Harlingen, Texas. Harlingen, I tell you. And we are getting into the busy time here. It's our final half hour of broadcasting, and usually the minutes leading up to 9 a.m. are jam-packed. And I would like now, ladies and gentlemen, to present to you our second Trijet of the morning. UPS flight 2785. It's going to the same place the last Trijet went to, Louisville. So there, the Runway DFW Jingle Singers have officially christened this as a plane that dates back to the year 1992. And if you want to do the math, that makes it 23 years of age. Old enough to drink jet fuel and smoke, but I think they've got the engines pretty fine-tuned on these old jets. They don't blast out a lot of smoke like the old-timey jets used to. Keith tells us that he's actually autistic, diagnosed at the age of 44. Aviation is one of his special interests, which is probably why I enjoy his job so much and why I love plane spotting. Well, thank you for sharing that with us, Keith. They're blinking their lights at us. I'll wave back at them. So it has been free from restraints and it's now on the move. And if we're lucky, maybe we'll get to see this take off right in front of us as well. show you all three engines now. Now, as we've seen on previous broadcasts, the MD-11 that goes to Louisville is often directed to take off on the east side of the airport. In fact, the last time we saw it, last morning we were here that we saw this plane. I think we had 3 go out, and I think all 3 of them went over to the east side. So maybe we'll get lucky today and see this second one take off as we were watching it right in front of us. Got a plane coming in from Colorado Springs, American Flight 2788, flying overhead. Well, we'll keep our eye on this one. If it makes a nice sharp right turn here, let's see it go, go, go. You see that? The TW, is that the TWA livery? Oh no, that's the Allegheny or Piedmont, I can't tell. And it looks like our second MD-11 is making the left jog over to the east side of the airport, so we'll try to pick it up as it goes in the air. Meantime, let's take a look at a special livery, shall we? don't get a very good look at it from this angle because of the backlighting. This is the Allegheny Heritage livery of American Airlines. It's an Airbus A319 off to Montrose, Colorado, I believe. You see that cute little nose. Classic look. I'm doing a lot of squinting right now, folks, 'cause that sun is just brutal. American Airbus A319 arriving from the airport with the code DSM, Des Moines, Iowa. As here in our final 15 minutes of the broadcast, we get a lot of activity. Like this Airbus A320 headed off to McAllen, Texas, in South Texas. It's American Flight 956. I got here a little earlier than I usually do today, and I had a question for myself. I said, how many connections do I have to make to get this broadcast underway? And I think it was somewhere between 40 and 50 connections between all the cameras and the switcher and the computer and the power supplies and the battery. And so I'm wondering, I was thinking, well, why did it take me so long to put this all together every morning or afternoon? There's just a lot of connections to make.
18 left, line up away, 0.3438.
Where did that plane come from? That was coming in from Bismarck in the Dakotas. That American Eagle flight we just saw. This American Airlines flight is going to Oklahoma City. It's a 737-800, flight 1805. That wind is really gusting now. Let's watch this flight come in from El Paso in West Texas. American Flight 612, 737-800. And there's just a bunch of planes lining up now.
Departure, runway 3438, 242, kilometer 10 on the west X. Runway 3438, departure, rear contact, American 956, to Mellon. Air shuttle 5729, transmittal velocity heading up 120, climb maintain 17,000. Left heading 120, climb maintain 17,000, air shuttle 5749. Southwest traffic, climb maintain 17,000. 17,000, southwest traffic. American 2484, contact forward center on 127.0.
There is an Airbus A321 entering your picture right now. It's American Flight 1584 off to Las Vegas, Nevada. A little bit like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz right now. It's really windy. It makes it feel colder than it should be. Arthur Benny says, is it possible to turn the ATC up, please? Well, as I've said, I've kind of been working on that. What I need is another piece of equipment called an audio mixer with more inputs on it. Because right now I've got my microphone, our microphone that picks up our shotgun mic that picks up the jet noise. And what is this? I'm seeing this plane go right up in the air. Oh, it's that's the MD-11 we saw headed over to the east side. And I saw this plane out of the corner of my eye going like straight up in the air, and I said, "What is that?" And of course, it's an MD-11 going straight up in the air. It's off to Louisville. We saw it taxiing out and rolling, and thought we would get to see it take off in front of us like we did the first one this morning, but it went over to the east side of the airport, and so at least we got the tail end of it there for you. We got lots of planes rolling up. So anyway, I was talking about our ATC, and ideally I'd like to pump the audio from the ATC, the air traffic control, into our mixing board where I'd have more control over it. But right now, because of my technical limitations here, I have to acoustically couple the sound from my scanner using my microphone that's pointed at the planes. So it's hard to get it just right. But that's one of the things on my list. At some point down the line, I'll get a mixer with more inputs on it, so I can kind of fine-tune it and blend it in, and it'll sound a lot better and clearer. Well, we've almost come to the end of our broadcast, but take a look at a few more planes while we're here. American Flight 2750 arriving from San Antonio in Texas, an Airbus A300 minibus. This is American Flight 1696, a 737-800 on its way to Kansas City. There it goes. You can see just a lot of planes are lining up to take off. An American Eagle Flight 5807 arriving from Fargo in North Dakota. I think it's North Dakota. The CRJ 900 or 901. This American Airlines 737-800 winging its way, or about to wing its way, to Mexico City. And there that goes. And regrettably, I don't have any big finale for you today. I can say that we have surpassed 6,900 subscribers, so now we're less than 100 away till we reach our next goal of 7,000. I don't know if you can see it in this shot. There's one plane, and then there's two more over there on the east side. So we've got 3 planes landing at the same time. And can I tell you where those are all coming from? I cannot at the moment. The one in the foreground was coming from Corpus Christi in Texas. And one of those was coming on the other side from Charleston. And I can't quite make out where the other one was from. So anyway, I think that's going to do it for today. So there's our big finale. 3 planes landing at the same time, kind of, sort of. Let's go to Sound Truck here and have them roll our closing music, shall they? shall we? Well, it has been my extreme pleasure to have had you with us here for this edition of Runway DFW on this Wednesday, September 29th, our final September broadcast of the month. And we'll be back in October. On Saturday is our tentative plan, sometime in the afternoon. And we hope to see you then, because we'll be here, so you be here. My name is Walt. It's been my pleasure, and happy contrails to you until we meet again. And thanks to all of you and to all of our great moderators. Thanks, everybody. We interrupt this closing music to acknowledge a couple of great supporters of Runway DFW. Michelle RS, again, with a nice $20 contribution. There's a little something for coffee or expenses. Thank you, Walt, for providing great streams. Thank you, Michelle. And also, Kells 136, a $25 tip towards equipment, upgrades, and coffee. Thank you, Kells. Much appreciated to all of you for your contributions and for your subscriptions and just for watching Runway DFW. Thanks again.
Stay tuned for The Price is Right, which follows at most of these CBS stations.
We hope you liked it. Too late to change it now.